Check out this limited run of Jar Media stickers presented by talented JARling Harriet Broadley. Support the show and an independent artist by picking up these stickers and putting them on the places that matter, like a brick wall, or a pig stool on a pig stool, or the Pope, or your dog. Honestly, where you want to put them, that bit's up to you. What are you waiting for? Head over to etsy.com/uk/shop/Harriet Broadley. The link is in the description below. Be quick, there are only 55 packs of these available, so we're talking limited.
Limited edition.
James has this thing about the mics and like being violent with them.
At the moment, I have a thing about being violent with anything, everything.
Got anger issues or something?
Yeah.
Got anger issues or something?
It's not my fault,
Welcome to a new series, Jar Therapies. I'm your therapist.
Who'd be the best therapist out, Jar?
You.
Yeah, probably. I can listen
Most
quite
modest
well.
in Jar too.
I'm not modest.
All you have to do to be a therapist is have a Nintendo Switch and pretend like you're listening to people.
No, all you have to do is go to university. Really?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Like a fart just been released.
So, tell me about Smash Brothers Brawl.
There was this time I just got destroyed by somebody.
You didn't get smashed.
When are they going to add Yoda to Smash Bros?
Smash is dead.
Bright. Seems too bright, don't you think?
Too bright?
Shall I bring it down a notch?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's the Holy Cast.
Smash is dead.
Okay.
It's actually dead.
Okay.
Because that netcode.
The whole game.
Top of the morning to you, laddies. My name is Jamie Septic Eye, and I'm joined by James Applier and Pewdie Alex.
Can I add some emphasis to this?
Yeah, play a tune. New theme. Expecto Sharona!
Hello, everybody. That's our new intro theme.
Pretty catchy.
The Jar Media Posdact episode 302. That's one above 301.
Wow. Well done.
I'm your host, Alex, joined by Brothrin Jim and Brothrin James.
Brothrin Alex, good day to you.
I call you my Brothrin simply because I've been really into broths as of late. I've been trying to... I don't know, they say you're not supposed to drink all the broth because it's really salty, but it's the best bit, you know, so I'm going to guzzle that down.
You talking like ramen?
Yeah, ramen broth.
You're not supposed to drink the ramen broth?
No, it's too salty. It's a misconception when you go to Japan that you have to drink the broth because it's polite. Nobody does. Don't drink the broth.
Even
too
though
salty.
The broth has all those flavours in there. It's been marinating in there.
Soup is like a weird idea.
Soup is
It's like
basically
baby
one of the
food.
best ideas. No.
I'm not a soup enjoyer. Actually, no, that's a complete lie.
What about a broth enjoyer? What about a
I don't like-
stew enjoyer?
I don't like a stew. I think the stew might be one of my least favourite things. It's
Yeah,
like, it's
I'm
done.
not nuts about stew.
There's better ways to enjoy those ingredients together, and it's not in just some liquid slop. It's
No, I think stew is absolutely incredible.
I think it's a weird thing with like you just think like tracing it back to when these foods were originated, you know? It's like big pot, all ingredients.
It's practical, it's delicious.
it's convenient.
Yeah,
it's convenient.
but it's also like safe, you know? That's
You
going
can
to be
have
like
a risky broth.
How? That shit cooks like all day. You stick it in a slow cooker, you know? You just have it on the fire and then go and hunt a mammoth or whatever and then put the mammoth in it.
No, I think
Stew's been around almost as long as fire.
Now, this is the thing. If you get your stew and then use it on rice, boom, a delightful dish. It's That's all you need.
You just said you don't like stew.
Yeah, what the
Yeah,
hell,
well,
man?
stew is just like eating it sloppy, you know? When you put it on rice, it's a new dish. It's a new
Okay.
delicacy.
Well, I'll tell you what's a new dish, and that's the Jar Media Patreon, which makes the audio versions of the show possible.
Okay, drop the tea then.
And, I will. And you get your names read out if you're a DBT or above on there. So we've actually got some Patreon news.
We're cancelling it. This is the end of Jar. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
So the JARChive RSS feed is complete. It's done. There was some details. Yeah, so from episode 1 to episode 129, 135 episodes if you include like guest episodes and the weird, awkward like decimal episodes, are all up on its own separate RSS feed called the JARChive. So on all services except for Apple Podcasts right now, because they've got a really long like ID process that takes like days and days for whatever reason. So I'm just refreshing that page each day until it lets me get approval for the cast. But on Spotify, Amazon, Audible, iHeartRadio, Podbean's own app, Google podcasts, they're all on there if you want the old eps. So just search JARChive. I couldn't figure out a way to like backlog them to the current RSS feed without just potentially screwing the whole thing up, and I just feel like it would have been really annoying to have the feed like update with all these
Old
million
episodes
new
in
episodes.
front.
Yeah, I didn't know if so I thought this was the safest way. Just have it as its own separate thing. You should be able to find that now. I noted down because I haven't shared it anywhere. Well, it's just before I like closed it yesterday. I was looking. One episode had been downloaded, just one random episode, and it was episode 5, like 05, called Our Biggest Fear. So one person somehow stumbled across the JARChive before it was
Wow.
even officially released. So it's probably like some granny who was trying to find some archive footage.
Well,
or something.
probably searching for like jam jars or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm glad that's finally done
Yeah.
and out there. Yeah, and pick up some of those stickers that are in the intro. It's only a limited run, so scare James and slap him all over town.
I do have a really big sticker fear.
Not for these though, right? These are the ones you like.
Yeah, I like them.
Hell yeah. We've actually got a huge housekeeping as well. It was just particularly good comments on the last episode for whatever reason. So let's just go through these, okay? Starting with Core Ben. I feel like the writers of this show let themselves down by suddenly revealing that James has the power to teleport. Abysmal plot development, 10 out of 10.
Okay, I also have beef with what was said last week, because I watched the segment of the show after I left. And you guys shout on me, and I don't think that was a good representation of me.
Why? What did we
Or-
say?
Clarify what you mean.
You said I'm really stupid, and I did this really stupid thing where I ate my chicken nuggets and chips off the McDonald's table.
Did that happen?
Did you do that?
Yes, but I didn't get food poisoning. I did
just
not
got
get
ill.
food poisoning because the McDonald's wasn't poisoned. So I'm fine. I just came down a bit unwell as a result of sending my immune system into overdrive. I didn't vomit. I didn't have any chest pain. So it's not food poisoning. I just was really ill. And I was driving home, violently shaking. And
Feeling like you were going to vomit.
yeah, and then I sat over the toilet at like 1 a.m. So you know when you're about to be sick, you can't swallow basically because it's coming up. So I was sitting there just dribbling over the toilet, just trying to get it out, but nothing came out. And then the next day, I just felt a bit rough, but I was otherwise fine. So my immune system is intact and I'm healthy as ever. Just
Okay,
don't eat your.
I retract what I said. What you did was actually really intelligent, bolstering your immune system.
Yeah. You know, I don't need a COVID. I'd never needed COVID shots because my immune system was just so good.
Mm-hmm.
You're like that guy who intentionally would let snakes bite him so he could become the Venom master.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could become Venom.
Yeah, he's just writhing around just like Venom right now. Polar Bear says Jamie has grown into a very musical young man. Kick it.
What does that mean?
It means you've become a very musical young man.
Like Billy Joel's Piano Man.
Pretty much.
I think
The Piano Man.
Beep bap boodly doop.
I think you should maybe launch yourself on the musical stage.
I think everyone is musical, but you just don't like accept it.
Yeah.
I know. I think that
You
it's just
like, do you believe those people who say like, oh, I don't like music?
Yeah, you like can't.
I do actually. I think that is possible.
Really?
Yes,
There's
How?
something wrong with them.
because they always like Drake, and if you like music, you don't like Drake. So by them
That's
liking
different
Drake,
to someone
they prove.
saying, oh, I just don't care. I straight up don't care about any music ever. Not like Drake or whatever.
See,
like, 'cause
this
that
is the thing
music.
of the people I've generally experienced who say they don't like music. They're always older people who have a soft spot for 80s music.
No, a lot of older people say, "Oh, this modern trash."
That's different though.
It's-
That's not like disregarding all of music.
No. But I've never met someone who's been like, "I don't like music."
I think it's not human. By design, we like music.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people haven't discovered the music they truly click with. So that's why they say they don't like music.
Yeah.
It's like back in the day, we were on battlegrounds just jamming to war drums. It's like human actual nature to just love music.
Are there any other animals that like I guess the gorillas from Tarzan, but are there anything that isn't some sort of ape or
No, I think it's
bipedal?
mostly apes. Well, I've heard stingrays love like heavy metal.
Really?
Yeah. Just swimming around screaming.
What about like whales? Do you reckon they're
They
singing?
sing. They're singing their own like version of Drake.
Well, no, they haven't like developed rap yet.
Mm.
They're still in the sort of
They all sing like Adele.
yeah, like some bugs like because a dog doesn't like hear music like in an emotional way, and they don't even like a beat. They don't like. But you know, sometimes you play like a praying mantis,
Or a stick insect.
a little pump song, and they start like rocking to it.
Yeah. Perfectly in tune to the beat.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Classic little pump song.
Alex Fish says, on the topic of golden YouTube names lost in time, I really miss when there was a JAR episode called Incest Through James. Now, I remember, I forget a lot of things about the cast, but I swear this is not like a thing.
No, this isn't a thing.
This can't
No
be
way.
true.
I think they're just trying to gaslight us now.
No, this is a thing that they've learned that they can gaslight us, because once you've done 302 episodes, I don't know about you, but it's like you cannot dwell on anything you say ever, because then you drive yourself insane. It's not good for you mentally. I don't know what anything we said past 289, if most. So how the hell am I supposed to know what I said like 5 years ago or 4 years ago? So how?
Well, yeah, this is the thing, because speaking for myself, I walk through that door and it's like switch flicked,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like
Impulse. It's just
yeah.
impulse. It's just you run on instinct, which you don't actually think.
yeah.
You can't make content and think.
It's like channeling a different being through your body.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're saying we're all character actors.
Yes.
Yeah. No, not character actors.
Actual characters.
Yeah, actual characters.
No, what's the word? Like Jared Leto being the Joker.
Twat.
We're method actors.
Yeah, we're method.
Well, no, because I don't think
Twat.
no YouTuber you like is real.
No, nobody's real.
No, this thing, but especially when you're being on a camera or doing anything, it's like how an actor's an actor. You aren't a person or real person when you're on camera. You can't exist.
This is what they say, that the real you is the one that
It's being perceived.
no is the one that you are when at least you think no one is watching.
No, the real me is that really good angle of myself that I put on Instagram with that certain filter on. That's the real me.
Yeah, the real me is the smooth face, no pores, no acne filter
Mine's me with a huge ass. That's the real me. Okay, so this is the question: is that when you are alone and nobody's watching, how do you act?
I kind of crawl around like an ape, going like,
As every man does.
yeah.
It's like every man runs up the stairs on all fours.
It's either that or yeah.
Every man does. That's what I do.
See, I used to do that, but I can't anymore ever since doing the handful trick.
The handful trick.
Yeah.
What, you just go on your hands.
No, I try to leave, or like when I'm moving around the house, I try to make sure my hands are full of things that need to be moved. Because there's always things that need to be moved.
Really?
I see. I don't get that.
I do the opposite.
What do you mean? Yeah.
What
What do you mean you don't get that?
Every time you go up and down the stairs, you're saying you have to have full hands.
Yeah, things that like.
Bro, how much stuff is in your house that you need to bring it always?
There's always like washing to go up and down, or something that's like glasses that you've left in here full of milk or something.
Milk, yeah.
That never happens.
I've got a really bad habit of leaving milk around.
Yeah, and it gets stinky after too long.
Yeah. Yeah, it turns into like cream or butter or whatever.
See,
soured cream.
I probably act the strangest when I'm alone. I think
everyone does.
I think I'm the most normal. Maybe I am the most normal when nobody sees me. Because this is the thing.
Like,
you think you're alone and you think nobody sees you, but it doesn't mean they don't hear you.
Yeah, especially when you walk around screaming like I do.
I walk around screaming. It's like I see gas, I'm just going to scream.
Yeah, why not? You gotta let it out sometimes.
No, but this is the fucked up thing. Jar's infiltrated my mind in a way that nothing else can. Because it's like, I will never ever say any Jar reference or meme. But as soon as I'm alone in my house, that's all I do. I just walk around saying like Pip Pop Boy or some other cringe Alex thing that he says.
Really?
Yeah,
So
I can't stop it.
You love them?
No,
That's
I hate
what you're
them.
saying. No, you wouldn't do it in private if you genuinely were anti.
No, it's just your
It's almost
psyop
the
has
inverse.
like affected my brain development.
Yeah. You just gotta embrace it.
I don't
No.
want to embrace it.
It'll happen.
I hope not.
Just like this comment from Nikolaj Stryback. I love how James keeps slipping Warhammer references in the episodes without ever elaborating, to the point where the other guys don't even think about it. Also, question for James, what Chaos Gods are the different cast members? Love the cast and Bear.
I swear we've had that question.
We have had that question.
Yeah, probably
I'm pretty
have.
sure.
But I would like, I haven't noticed.
See,
any of this.
I read this comment and I was like, have I? I think I have. I've been making really odd
Probably
references.
by accident.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think I called you guys like Nurglites at some point.
Alex is Nurgle.
No, Alex is the god of corruption and like the great game. Alex loves like manipulating and
Psyoping. Left,
yeah,
psyoping,
you're
right.
Zench.
Zench.
Yeah,
I wake up and feel Zench sometimes.
Zinch.
Zinch.
Because Alex, that's 100% true. Because Alex loves like playing with the
Being
audience.
the puppet master.
Yes.
Being the fiddle player.
Actually, let's on the subject of Warhammer, since it works. Both I and Jamie have played Darktide.
Wait, can we get into that after housekeeping? If that really loud, what's that, helicopter?
I bet you it's like a private helicopter as well.
It's probably Kim Kardashian going somewhere.
Going to Tesco
Yeah.
to get milk.
I need my meal deal. Yeah, so Puffin says, Alex, I'm getting a septoplasty in the next couple of weeks. Any tips on how to make it less miserable?
Don't get it.
I saw a suggestion, because sleeping is like the main thing. If you've got like a recliner or something, try and sleep in that so then you're up, right? Don't worry about how much it's bleeding unless it's like crazy and won't stop. Also, it'd be worth getting in some,
Prune juice.
yeah, some prune juice or all those tablets that make you poop, because
Laxatives.
if they put you on painkillers, you're going to be suffering with that.
So for my day one, prune yourself up.
Not from day one, because you might not necessarily have issues. If you have issues, then
No, day one, prune juice.
yeah, just take it easy, man. Good luck. A couple more here, elaborating on the coffee JARling that we were saying got bullied by Mark. Yeah, Something Other 64 says, coffee JARling here. I did get a coffee and cake. Really good, by the way. Thanks for the recommendation. And only mentioned you as I was leaving off the cuff, just so he knew that the recommendation was worth it. Mark did ask why I mentioned you guys, and I suddenly realised he might think I was a weirdo or something. Maybe he won't go back for fear of being annihilated by a hail of bullets.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcus, he saw us. He showed us the guns today. He's like preparing.
Yeah, and Alex Fish replied to that saying, stay safe and beware the stinkies. Yeah. I wanted to read this one from Delugiri. I'm the only Faroese JARling. The UK might be small, yet have a lot of accents. However, my country, the Faroe Islands, has a population of just 50,000 people, and there are also many diverse accents. The most glaring accents are the one from the southernmost island, where many words are pronounced differently, like I, we, and you. Apparently there are also further differences in between the towns on the island, but I'm too much of a northerner to tell. So yeah, shout out to the Faroese JARling, the one. The one.
Let's make it our goal to make all 50,000 Faroesians JARlings.
Alex, psyop.
Like life goal. Yeah, psyop. We need to
Infiltrate. Start spreading corruption in their day-to-day life, and soon
Yeah,
they'll be assimilated.
can escape to the islands. Toya says, Alex or whoever makes these thumbnails, why did you decide to use a fucking Louisiana swamp background? It makes no sense next to the gangsters, but for some reason it makes it much more funny.
Alex doesn't actually. I swear you go into like a trance when you make thumbnails, and it's just like
there's
something
more logic
happens.
to it than that. It's the Everglades, and then the Stinkies in the Everglades.
You missed the whole Everglade thing, didn't you?
You did.
Yes. I
I
was
just
too busy
love that
violently
word.
shaking.
There's something about it. It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. It makes me think of like Final Fantasy.
Uh-huh.
It does have Final Fantasy vibes,
We need to get the crystals from the Everglade.
but it also has like a Lord of the Rings elf vibe.
Yeah.
Everglades, that's very elfy.
They're taking the hobbits to the Everglade.
Hmm. Do you want a little poop? Do you want a little poop one from Patrick?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
To
a
end
little
housekeeping.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Patrick Primetime says, well, fuck. Just caught up to date with the JARCast. Can't believe you've been talking about shit stories. Literally had a liquid shit at work while pissing a couple of weeks ago. Thankfully, I'm a gardener and was working by myself on the ride-on mower. I soiled my underwear beyond use, had to throw them away and wipe my ass with grass and leave them clean. And leaves, then cleaned myself up with everything I could find in the first aid kit. Thanks for all the entertainment during my work. Goon on, fellas.
Why were you pissing while sat on a lawnmower?
I know, but come on, that's literally the dream. Is sitting on a lawnmower and just
With a
shitting.
No, but surely he like stopped or left it there.
Yeah. No, it's you see that's it's the biggest flaw to my argument of like why would you sit on the toilet? 'Cause it's like if you do get a flashbang poo poo, standing is the inferior position, because if that happens when you're sat, it's just gonna poo fart into the toilet, you know.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, speaking of poo fart into the toilet, before we get into what you guys wanted to talk about, I just wanted to shout out, I discovered something they used to do in like ancient China, where they would make cock rings out of goat eyes.
What?
Natural goat eye
Goat
cock.
eyes?
Natural goat eye cock rings.
Do you mean like the eye hole?
Yeah. So just wanted to get your guys' read on that one.
You use what you can, and it's
Yeah.
pretty ingenious to me to make cock rings anciently. Like, they didn't understand, like,
I don't
surely.
really understand what cock rings are
It
for.
keeps the blood in the cock, I think.
blood cock.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
isn't it? No, cock rings are there to stop you from coming because they squeeze your little tube.
No.
No, they are. They're supposed to like prolong a sexual experience because you can't come. No, I'm being
No.
I'm being genuinely serious.
Well, I mean, I
Not
can't
true.
say I've ever used one or even seen one.
But the thing with cock wings is you can't leave them on too long because then it can like actually.
Yeah.
Do you faint or something? 'Cause lack of blood flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't like fall
No,
asleep.
I'm being
with a
serious.
cock
If
ring
you
on.
generally put a cock wing on while you're erect, and you stay erect, you could actually like do some damage. I think.
Yeah, if you like
It's like
fell
a
asleep
limited
and just
thing.
left it there all night, you might be in some danger.
Yeah, that would be really uncomfortable as well.
But yeah, cock wings are there to prolong.
But
your-
how do you use it? Do you put it on before you're hard? Because I feel like putting it on
Surely-
after is going to be, because it's got to go like
the shaft.
the
bottom of-
balls go through it, right?
No,
No.
that's something else.
Then how's it squeezing the tube?
Because
the
it's
tube.
squeezing right at the bottom of your shaft. Because
Yeah.
the tube is at the back.
How
and
tight is this thing then?
It's tight.
It's constricting blood flow. That's the
Yeah,
idea.
It
it's just.
sounds like painful.
Well,
No
it's
pain, no
got its
gain, I guess.
benefits.
no natural goat eye, no gain.
I'm not using natural
I mean-
goat eye cock rings.
I'm just glad that cock rings have been around that long.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but who
reassuring
in that
in a way.
time was like, damn? Because obviously
Just like
scientific.
looking at a dead goat, just like.
Yeah, like how? Like,
Well, it's like using the entirety. They're like,
Yeah.
what could we
No, but how-
use the eye hole for?
how was the knowledge of our sexual organ like advanced enough to be like, oh, if we suffocate our cock at the base, we can go longer. Like
It probably started off with some like
accident.
well, like just a freak, like a dude that's like into freaky shit. you
Yeah.
know? And he was like,
He was bored. Like there wasn't
yeah,
Fortnite.
a
Like,
goat
what would you
gooner.
do? Just
No, but
dismantle
who's
goats, I
actually
guess.
going to see a dead goat? Feel like, oh, the eye socket looks like it's my cock size. Let's cut it out, trim it down so it can
They would
perfectly
leave
go
the
round on my cock.
eyelashes as well.
Wait, what? How the fuck? Wait, so it still had like flesh on it? What the fuck are you
It was the
talking about?
eyelashes.
What do you mean it was the
Like a
eyelashes?
tickle. Like imagine a weenie, and then the goat.
Bro, did you imagine a weenie?
Yeah, imagine a weenie with a goat eye around it with the eyelashes.
What do you mean a goat eye? Do you not mean the
it
eye
still,
socket?
So it still had like the goat hair and
Yeah.
like,
What do you
flesh
mean?
on it? So it was like a rotting goat eye
Well, they
around
probably
their cock.
treated it.
So a taxidermy goat eye on their cock.
Are you
Is
sure
what
this
you're
wasn't
telling me?
a makeshift fleshlight? Because that's what you're making it sound
Yeah.
like. They're busting a nut inside
No,
a goat's
I'm
head.
serious. So yeah, goat eyelid cock rings. Yeah. So sometimes this is on travelingtickletrunk.com.
Bro, you're being bamboozled.
Sometimes
This
my
is not
job
real.
leads me to web searches that reveal things I kind of wish I didn't know. That happened today when I was looking for old sex toys to feature for Throwback Thursday series. I discovered that in ancient China, around the year 1200, the dried eyelids of goats were used as cock rings. What I further discovered is that you can
Eyelids?
still buy goat eye cock rings today. If you're like me, you'll have the following questions. What, how, why, and what? I really mean what? So to answer these questions, yes, apparently this was and is a thing. I'm not making this up. If you're confused as I was, I'll clarify. It is actually the very front of the eyelid which forms the ring. I'm not sure how they cut it off, the goat, and I don't want to know. In most cases, the eyelashes are left on to provide extra stimulation. Here's a picture so we're all clear what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So it's not the bone.
It's the eyelid that
It's
they've
the skin.
dried. Yeah, they've dried
it's
the
like
eyelid.
dried skin.
And it's a cock ring.
So
Well-
you can buy them from online from like India.
Okay, let's
Like
buy one. And see,
300
let's try it out.
rupees, which is like $5, five
Oh, that's
Canadian dollars.
That's cheaper than any sex ring you can actually buy here.
Yeah, so get like a whole box imported. Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this knowledge.
Why did they figure
Yeah, it's
out how
creepy, isn't it?
useful cock rings were in the 1200s?
No,
It's
but,
the eyelash thing that gets
technology.
me.
Technology is always led by horniness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Like, why do you
everything.
think VR blew up?
Porn?
Yeah, the internet in general.
The internet, yeah. Like the biggest step in like human communication, like ever. How much of what's on the internet is porn?
A lot of it.
Yeah, most of it.
Oh, well, just think of it this way. Augmentation is going to become a bigger thing once they realise that Robo Pussy is better than real pussy.
Yeah, the golden pussy.
The golden pussy is not natural.
No, it's a synthetic
Sucker.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of goat eyelids, just like...
Yeah. They found the golden pussy back in ancient China.
Well, no, this is a thing. Like, once our brains are kind of a technologic, like, you only need real sex, and you can just mindfuck yourself. It'll be like the stimulation of real sex times 100.
Yeah, with like squid and stuff.
Yeah, you don't need real sex anymore. Technology is advanced through war and sex.
Like a cyberpunk thing where it's like Leonardo DiCaprio is selling his sexual history as a video that you can live.
Yeah.
And, like, you put on your helmet, it's just... Wow.
Yeah, but you could go through it in like 3 seconds. You know, in real, like in your head, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, you just get all his
and then
memories.
You're just like blasting through it, fucking gooning 6,000 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dopamine. The dopamine you'd have to augment dopamine receptors into your head.
Why aren't there dopamine junkies that just have like a syringe of dopamine and they're just like?
Because the only way we can the only way we can get dopamine is like by making it.
No, you just make someone play COD who's doing really well, and then syringe it out of their brain, and then stick it in someone else.
So what we do is we get the
we get
the sweaty.
Disrespect.
No, we get all the sweaty COD players and the gamers, and we farm them for dopamine.
Yeah.
And then we can give it to people who actually deserve it.
Instead of like Bitcoin farming, we just have people winning battle royales.
Yeah.
Dopamine mining.
No, but then it's just like it's not an infinite source because the dopamine receptors are going to get dulled by the constant wins. So you need to enslave new kids
you need,
to
like,
make
2
dopamine.
Groups, and one group is like locked in a dungeon. They get no stimulation. They're bored out of their fucking minds.
Mm.
And like,
then
when you've drained the dopamine out of the gamers, you chuck them in the dungeon. And then out comes the fresh dopamine.
Oh, so you starve them of dopamine for so long that it resets it.
Yeah, so then when they get one win, it's like a huge explosion of dopamine.
And we can farm it.
Yeah, we farm it, and then you just keep it going on.
So all the normal people in society who fuck their dopamine receptors can get the injections of dopamine to keep them...
Yeah. I think that's something that's required to prolong society.
Yeah, we don't need to go to Mars. We need to farm dopamine.
Yeah.
I feel like things like Fortnite are already engineered as dopamine farms.
Yeah, but we not benefit from them.
Yeah,
corporations are.
Only monetarily, though.
Yeah, not we're not gaining dopamine from them. We're gaining money.
We need a source of
extracting dopamine.
Yeah, and reproducing dopamine. You know, like an infinite amount.
No, think of it this way. Society will be 10 times more successful because then people in office jobs will be receiving dopamine. So then they can be like...
You can have like sweatshops and you're just plying them with dopamine, so they're loving life.
Yeah.
Like,
then it's not human abuse because they're fucking...
Yeah, they're really happy.
Yeah, they're just dopamine out of their face.
Yeah, they're doped up.
Yeah.
Is that why it's called dope?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
New discoveries made every day, just like the eyelashes on goats.
Think about how much better things would be if you go to any shop and all of the people in the shop are dopamine to shit. The service would be impeccable. Imagine coffee that's been made by someone on dopamine.
What?
No, but imagine if, like, you've got to do something miserable, like do a diarrhea shit, but you dopamine yourself up beforehand or drawing, and you're like loving the most nastiest shit.
But also,
imaginable.
if you're like injecting dopamine into your brain when doing something you don't like, surely your brain reads that as, oh, this is a thing I like, so then you want to do it more.
Yeah.
We produce more.
Yeah.
It's how we could save this country from the Civilization 6 Dark Age that we're going into.
Yes.
Of economical decline.
Make people like spending money.
No, first we make people enjoy like making things. Like socks.
Like cheese.
And cheese.
Cheese is a big one. We can stop importing it.
Yeah.
Stop importing cheese, dopamine everyone up and make them make cheese. Just
dope
you know,
up
stop
the cows, dope up the goats.
Mm. then battery farming is absolutely fine.
Yeah, because they like it.
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome them into liking it.
Yeah. You like open the cage door and they're just like, nah.
Don't mean.
Bring it.
Lock me in.
It's not quite where I was expecting that goat eye thing to go, but I'm glad you guys have this knowledge and everyone else is cursed with it too, because I can't be alone in knowing it.
I've seen worse.
I mean, yeah.
They were making butt plugs in that time as well, so, you know. Humanity's been like freaky for fucking thousands of years.
Just imagine like the first guy who made one and like trying to convince other people that it's actually like really good.
Well, no, because they would just lied. They'd have been like, they would have used some like lie to sell it. To
oh, don't worry, it's a human eyelid.
Yeah, it's not that weird. Well,
yeah, I don't know if you guys wanted to talk about gaming. We can do a little gaming segment. We're playing new games, I think.
Well, I suppose you are as well, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys go first, though.
Yeah, we've been playing separately, we've been playing the Darktide beta.
Yep.
Warhammer, like James has been rootsy tootsing off all about all the time.
Yeah, as has probably been noticed, I'm quite deep in the Warhammer 40,000 lore goon hole. I consume it every day, and there is a lot of Warhammer games coming out, and one of them is basically a Left 4 Dead survival game that is absolutely incredible.
I'm way impressed by it. Like, you've been excited for it for a while.
Yeah.
And
since we got into Vermintide recently.
Yeah, Vermintide,
and started
which
actually
is really
loving
good.
the hook and the difficulty.
Yeah. So I was expecting it to be like on that same level, like pretty much exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
But it seems much cooler. First of all, I think the 40k universe way cooler than like the fantasy stuff, which is weird for me because I tend to prefer fantasy shit to
I think
sci-fi.
the thing with like that world is that as everyone just thinks it's like you see a space marine and you just think it's like Master Chief, it's like Gears of War. You just see their big muscle guys in armor. It's like you instantly assume what the world is, but then it's not that. There's so much more than that.
I just find sci-fi that it feels more ancient than futuristic, and
like Dune.
Yeah, and it's got this vibe of like almost like Roman sort of.
It's like Latin, like Inquisition. So super old Catholic.
Yeah. There's like heavy religious imagery, almost like the hub area is like inside a ship, but it looks
like a cathedral. Yeah.
But with all this like
tech,
mechanical, techy, hologrammy stuff, but it just works so well. The like
it's the clash
the aesthetic is pristine.
Yeah, and that's the thing they've nailed with a lot of recent like Warhammer 40k stuff is just the aesthetic, the sound design, the world. And I think this game, Darktide especially, does that really well because the soundtrack by Jesper Kyd is fucking on point. It's really like the sound of 40k. It's what you think with all the choirs and the fucking like church music and like fucking industrial heavy beats. It's beautiful. But it's a game that generally is super fun to play. The gameplay is super responsive and everything you do feels heavy. Like it's got impact. And I think that's why the game is like hooks me so much because it's not even out and I've dropped close to 20 hours into it already.
Yeah, just the beta. I think it's an ingenious way to use that franchise as well, where you don't need any like it's prior knowledge. You can just jump in because the gameplay is so like
casual,
simple, really fun and rewarding. You just jump in at that point and then it makes you interested in the other stuff. So it gives you just enough story in that
within its own separate thing.
Yeah, lets you have this surface level stuff, but then if you want more, you can like
because they reference it. Like the characters will just talk about Cadia. Because when you're selecting a thing, you can select your home world, and one of them is Cadia.
Yeah.
But then Cadia is a huge part in the lore. So these people talking about what's happening with Cadia and like mocking Cadia. So then you can look at lore of Cadia and then you get it.
Yeah.
And then it spirals because the little cheese going down the hill, it's like slow. But as soon as you get that first lore, you're having to like.
Yeah, but also you have the option to totally ignore it.
That's the thing, because it's like with lore and with context and stuff. If you throw so much about it at someone so early on, they're just not going to respond to it.
And if
they're
it
not gonna be
bombarded you with cutscenes and you're just getting all this information with no input, like the majority of the storytelling is like during the game.
Yeah.
While you're playing through a level.
Yeah.
And that stuff is really well done. It's like characterful enough where it's entertaining just hearing your own character have conversations with other people's characters. But they're also referencing this like broader picture stuff that goes way over my head. I've got no idea like what's going on.
And it actually works, because when you say like that kind of thing, it makes you think of like a Destiny strike, where it's just like dumped exposition that's just like
but the games, it really doesn't dump exposition at all. Like
and
most
it's
of
way
the
simpler.
Like a lot of the dialogue's like just like war anger. It's like you're in a fight, so you're like but then on the download, when you're like in an elevator, just progression through the level, they might have a 5-sentence conversation about some lore thing, but they're not like dumping it. It's just like one person says this, another one retorts.
But it's the characters in the scene. It's not like someone calling you on the radio.
Yeah, and like you get to choose your class and then your voice. And then your character says a bunch. There's like apparently 70,000 lines of dialogue in the game, which is like huge.
Yeah, like so like if a character set their thing to be originally from Cadia, other characters might reference Cadia to you because you're from there. So it's like...
Yeah, that's a cool way of doing it.
Yeah,
especially for games that are designed to be replayed again and again.
Yeah. Like I've not heard a super overlap of like conversation. And I've spent a lot of time in it. But I think that this could be a huge entry point for a lot of people into 40k, just because they've done it well.
Yeah,
and
but also it doesn't have to be that.
No, that's the thing. That's why
it's just a fun game on its own.
Yeah.
So it's like ingenious the way they've constructed that.
Because 40k is really difficult to get into. Like I just have
It's intimidating.
It's
got such a history.
intimidating. But it's like, how do you get into it? Because there's so many ways to get into it where you can just play the games. Because 40k has a fair few good games in different genres, like Mechanicus, which is like an XCOM type game. You got Road Traeger coming out. You got like a Civilization type game. Then you got like the the like space, yeah. And now it's like entered the first person shooter realm, which is obviously the most popular genre, with just a really solid just entry point. I think it's going to be really good. But the only issue with it is it has got some teething performance issues at the moment.
Yeah, what game doesn't know, to be honest?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's still the beta, and they are taking this in, and they are already like making fixes so that when it launches in like 2 weeks' time, might be in a better place. They're doing what you should do with a beta, which is like teething shit out before you launch it instead of just launching it at the final product.
You can test the servers, you can test balancing and all
they've already made balancing changes as well.
Yeah.
They definitely recommend it.
What about you, Alex?
So I jumped into God of War Ragnarok. Played 6 hours or so. Yeah, I'm finding it really interesting because my concern with it was that it was going to be too similar to the 2018 one. And I don't know, I felt like they were in an interesting place where it was like that game was kind of a surprise when it came out. Like, especially I didn't have like a PS3 or like care about those original games.
Yeah.
And when like the trailers were coming out, it seemed like, oh, they're Last of Us in God of War now? This seems kind of lame. But then it worked out really well for that game. But then how do you follow up a game like that where they do kind of take a bunch of the mechanics to their logical extremes? It doesn't seem like you could really capture that lightning in a bottle again. But so far I'm liking it. It took a few hours for me to like find a new hook, but it seems more like a continuation, like a natural part 2, instead of like trying to stretch out like a sequel just because the first one was so successful and they had to make it up. It feels like it's like exciting to me knowing that I can keep going back to it, that there is like a conclusive story in there, and it's not like the middle chapter or something that's just fucking infinite, never gonna end. Production value insanely high. All the acting's really good so far.
Yeah, I've not been playing it because obviously the Jar PlayStation is basically what you're playing on, and I've just been watching the cutscenes and early game stuff. And Jesus Christ, some of that acting is just so spot on, especially like 4.
Yeah, and all the music and everything. But they're actually mechanically, weirdly, that's the thing I was kind of least expecting to get me. But it's really satisfying to play. They've like just expanded everything, and kind of there are some like UI issues where it's just like all this RPG mechanics that are just kind of like really awkwardly explained, and
they were kind of implemented in the first one.
They weren't that great. But it doesn't seem quite as bad. But I'm seeing like all sorts of like different opinions on the game, so I'm like really curious where it's going to land by the time I've finished it.
It doesn't seem to have quite as much fanfare as the first. It doesn't feel like it's blown up in the same way. Probably because people now know what to expect. The bar has been like raised by the franchise.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm digging it so far.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll play it at some point, just not anytime soon.
Yeah. I'm curious to see like where it goes. Much more, I know people get annoyed when I bring up Last of Us 2, but I'm way more like enthused to keep playing this game. Yeah. It's like 30 hours plus or something though, so it's going to take a long time.
Yeah. Since Elden Ring, I've been kind of seeking like more condensed experiences. Because that's what a lot of the conversation is turning into, as Elden Ring versus God of War. So it's like these two inverse kind of directions and philosophies. And I feel like there is room for both, and they do. They do totally different.
Yeah, sometimes I do kind of like the guided narrative.
Yeah, because Elden Ring gets like genuinely exhausting.
Yeah.
By the time you finish it, it's like I just need like a break from this.
Yeah.
It's almost like too like intriguing. Like just what's around that next corner type thing. And once you've done it once, you can never recapture that feeling. Whereas with a narrative, it's like you're hitting these beats, you know they're coming, but it can still work.
Yeah, I'm definitely more impressed with like Elden Ring as a video game and what it does for the medium in terms of like design than I am also of God of War, where it's like just a type of game I'm really used to, just done extremely well, clearly with people who have been doing it a long time and know what they're doing. Yeah, there are like details and stuff I wouldn't want to spoil.
And I know nothing about it, really.
Yeah, I had like a big thing kind of like ruined for me on Twitter, which was lame.
That's a benefit of not using.
Yeah, well, it was the kind of thing where I was just like, I wasn't really expecting people to be talking about this stuff like so quickly on social media, and like I guess that's just the way it goes now. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but whatever.
Oh well.
Yeah, we'll see you after these messages for some Reddit questions. Check out this limited run of Jar Media stickers presented by talented JARling Harriet Broadley. Support the show and an independent artist by picking up these stickers and putting them on the places that matter, like a brick wall, or a pig stool on a pig stool, or the Pope, or your dog. Honestly, where you want to put them, that bit's up to you. What are you waiting for? Head over to etsy.com/uk/shop/Harriet Broadley. The link is in the description below. Be quick, there are only 55 packs of these available, so we're talking limited.
Limited edition.
In the eyes of the angel, one away.
Hey. Welcome to the second half of the cast. We head over to the Jar Media subreddit and answer questions from the community. Just like Hullery did. I'm just going to start us off here. I think we've answered this before, but there's some of the responses that were interesting to me. What's the smallest animal you would lose a fight to?
Oh, we've answered this before.
Badger.
What do you think of these ideas from the people who responded to it, like Rip Fluid?
Spider.
James, Richard Hammond, Snake, Alex, well, I guess Alex, Snake, Jim, Rhino.
No, Jim would lose to a wolf.
No, I wouldn't.
Wolves are quite big, though.
I could brutalize a wolf.
No, you absolutely couldn't move
If
your
I can
fists.
brutalize an eagle, I can brutalize a wolf.
You can't brutalize an eagle. We've gone over this.
I can.
And I'd absolutely get shat on by Richard Hammond. I'm not even going to lie about that.
Well, Hindu Fraps options were Alex, Bear, James, Honey Badger, Jim, Seagull.
No, but the thing is, a seagull fucks everyone up because they have so much confidence and you can't do anything.
No, I could take an eagle, but I can't take a seagull.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Seagulls have chip fury.
Honestly, go to a British sea town, get some chips.
Yeah.
You ain't having those chips. You're the seagull's bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You're just the vessel that carries the chips to them.
Yeah.
Americans be like, oh, but the eagle. Mate, a seagull. Come on.
An eagle would get destroyed by a seagull if the eagle had chips.
Yeah.
The eagle.
Well, guys, we've got to do a segment now with more Jar Media wiki pages, because there are some really good ones. We read the EC page last episode, but we got some more ones that a username 1917 has suggested. React to more articles from the Jar Media wiki, some suggestions. So the first suggestion was Swindon.
Oh, no, I've got some interesting things. No.
Mm-hmm.
Guess which is the second safest place in the UK? Swindon.
Oh, really? Like voted?
But I think it's by
Statistics.
crime statistics. Yeah, Swindon is safer than your favourite place. Bath. Swindon.
See, I told you.
Man, maybe it's underrated this whole time. But this is the wiki page anyway. Swindon is the most populated shithole in Wiltshire, the county where the Jar Boys live. It is most famous for the Magic Roundabout, a clusterfuck of 5 roundabouts joined together to create the mother of all junctions.
No, stop. I'm going to stop you right there and say it's still more functional than every single American junction when it's 4 roads just combining into one. How many crashes happen on the Magic Roundabout? None. How many crashes happen on every interstate, into fucking shit square thing every single day?
Yeah.
Every intersection in America has a crash on every single day.
That's not to do with the road, though. That's just to do with the drivers.
And the bad design. But the Magic Roundabout, nobody crashes there because nobody's going fast enough.
I think, the standard being driving manual makes people better drivers.
Yeah. And that's saying something
that's true,
because people here are terrible drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, locally they're awful.
No, because here's the thing. People don't just accidentally somehow plow into their own garage because there's a clutch.
Yeah.
It's nobody's just accidentally running over and destroying their house because they accidentally put their foot on the accelerator.
A shit place to live in with awful urban planning. Alex called it the shithole of the universe, while Jim called it the blight town of the real world. In reference to a famously filthy, disgusting and all-around shit area in the 2011 video game Dark Souls. There's even a screenshot of the Google Maps layout with a quote saying, "Just look at the map of how fucked it is. It's the worst design." Despite how every other Brit talks about how trash of a place Swindon is, the Jar Boys think its shopping centre is too good for Swindon. And they also go to it regularly. They also get food and go to the cinemas, of which one has an IMAX theatre, but other than that, Alex finds it difficult to tell anyone about anything else someone could do in Swindon. Why is Swindon so dogshit? Urban planning. Swindon has awful road design with hard-to-navigate roads which sometimes randomly change their thickness or make them a one-way road. Being a town known for its roundabouts, one road leading up to the Magic Roundabout has loads of unnecessary roundabouts. People. Swindon man is the equivalent of Florida man in the UK. Swindonites are another class of people. Chavvy, disgusting monster manimals that make up their own rules. Swindonites are identical. in that they all have the exact same haircut, wear the same kind of clothes, and love Caspers.
That's just British people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here are some notable encounters of Swindon people. James was at a Swindon car meetup that smelled like weed in May 2018. Things got out of hand when Swindonites started driving down the closest road as fast as possible. In a typical English car meetup in Swindon, James witnessed someone playing loud music on subwoofers. Many people with mopeds were arrested.
No, the thing about the street racing is one of the funny clips came out of it was there was a dickhead who owned a Renault Clio. And he'd always cause like beef with everyone, so he got into a street race, and as he was driving past, someone got a huge block of brie, lobbed it in the front windscreen, exploded.
Brie? Wow.
Cheese?
Yeah, because it's a Renault, and it was a bright yellow Renault.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
So I think Swindon does have its humour sometimes, and I think that's iconic.
Swindon's got humour in droves.
Oh, yeah. The broadcast saw chav girls in a McDonald's in Swindon. Alex went to the IMAX theatre in Swindon to see Hereditary. He was so close to screaming at a large group of young chavs after they started laughing at serious parts of the film. They later left halfway through watching the movie. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that just sounds funny.
At the shopping centre in Swindon, James witnessed an average Swindonite walking around on his phone looking at a video of himself showing off his muscles.
Oh, yeah.
The boys almost got hit while using the magic roundabout.
We didn't, though.
While the boys were bowling in Swindon, all the men their age in the bowling alley sported the same terrible haircut. On the other hand, they all wore similar fashion and loved Caspers, which made the Jar boys fit in.
No, that's the thing. The thing with British youth is they all have the same haircut all the time.
Uh-huh.
That's just a culture thing, not a Swindon thing.
A young, extremely obese woman stopped at the Swindon station and sat down next to Alex. Her legs squished up all the way around Alex's leg, and she did not notice as she was taking pictures of herself on Snapchat. Yeah. That was a memorable trip to London. Yeah.
I don't think nobody's meant that this article hasn't mentioned the disgusting Swindon train station, the Tower Block.
I think it will get there because now it's notable places in Swindon. Shopping centre. Despite the town's general shittiness, Swindon has a great shopping centre. In order to prepare for testing shreddies, the boys went to the food court to eat as much fibre as possible, only to fart it all out later. Alex attempted to do an intro for episode 190 where they would be at the shopping centre. But the centre is so boring, Alex admitted the intro was completely incohesive. Nando's. The Jar Boys believe Nando's is the best thing in Swindon. It is close to the strip club and Caspers. Caspers. The boys went to Caspers, a British ice cream chain, for the first time in Swindon, after they went to a restaurant from a cuisine Jim had never tried before with Papa Beltman. Jim thought it smelled like too many M&Ms. Alex liked the milkshakes and their large amount of selection for them. Caspers is also close to the Swindon Strip Club. The boys came back to Swindon in spring of 2018 for milkshakes later, presumably at Caspers. Jim got 2 milkshakes and almost threw up in the car ride home.
Oh yeah,
I remember that. I do remember
you
that.
buy a milkshake every time and you're always like...
No, because I always get a waffle and a milkshake. Because you need something to wash the sugar
wash it down, yeah.
Right?
Sugar.
Yeah. The Dream Lounge. The Dream Lounge is Swindon's strip club, which is near Nando's and Caspers.
It's in between the two. You get your Nando's, then you get your lap dance, then you get Caspers to finish it off.
The boys have been suggested filming a cast there as a gimmick episode, but was generally rejected, mostly due to the idea not being safe for YouTube. Theatres. The movie theatres at Swindon are where the Jar Boys go to watch movies on the big screen. Alex went to see Hereditary and the Emoji Movie in the theatres at Swindon. Incorrect, I went to Bath to see the Emoji Movie. The Beltmans went to Swindon to watch The Meg in theatres. That's true.
We also watched Hobbs and Shaw there.
Yeah. They were the only ones that scream laughed at the ending of the film due to its shittiness, though. Alex attempted to hold back laughter. Bowling alley. Swindon's bowling alley is where the boys played 2 games of bowling, despite that the English mainly see bowling as a childish activity for birthday parties. Because of this, many people at the alley were scared to go out there. They may have gone because of the Beltmans' love for the Big Lebowski. Jim bowled based on how the characters in the movie bowl. Many gutter balls happened. In the last round of the game, they all used a ramp, while another person used 2 balls to cheat. James won the first and Alex won the second. Trivia. One time when the Jar Boys were driving back from Swindon, Alex scream-laughed after discovering r/minion cells. I remember that. A friend of James got drunk and fell on a bush before taking a bus to Swindon. While heading back from Swindon, James was in front of a moped which was going really slow. James swerved the steering wheel left and right quickly, so the car was driving in a zigzag. The car behind him started doing it as well.
Oh yeah, no, that's a car thing. If you're being followed by a fellow car enthusiast, if you start zigzagging, they just zigzag. But also, if someone's tailgating you, if you purposely lose control, they'll stop tailgating you. It's a good tactic. So if you're doing like 70 on motorway, just start losing control. It's a good tactic.
Yeah, just turn around.
Yeah, just crash on purpose. They'll stop tailgating you.
Cucumber Nick.
Ah.
Cucumber Nick was a JAR member and test subject used by the JAR crew. He was a cucumber cut in half with a face, having 2 push pins for eyes, and a portion of the cucumber carved out as a mouth. He was sealed in a jar forever, as an experiment put on by the JAR boys. He has absolutely no relation to the Roffle XD LMFAO random Pickle Rick character from Rick and Morty. A ceremony beginning his journey occurred immediately after the JAR dude summoned Herobrine in September 2017. Since 2018, Cucumber Nick melted, since cucumbers are 95% water, and has become a brown, greyish paste-like substance. After James challenged himself to eat a whole scorpion in JARCast 103, its remains merged from Cucumber Nick's to form an even more repulsive liquid. By October 2018, James said the scorpion was disintegrating and it was turning into string. Several hairs belonging to Argy and Paisley have been identified in the jar in January 2020.
They've forgotten why the hairs are in there.
There's no Paisley hair in there. That's Max hair. That's Argy and Max's hair in there. In the current state, the contents of the jar are a breach of international law, as the 1972 Biological Weapons Convention prohibits the development, production, acquisition, transfer, stockpiling, and use of biological weapons, of which the boys are now guilty on all accounts except use.
Did it mention the jar was opened?
There's one comment saying, I'm not adding it in just yet, but I'm almost certain that the jar is now also filled with tons of human hair because Alex got high once and dumped his shavings in the jar. That bears mentioning, IMO.
I opened the jar by accident.
By accident?
No, I didn't mean to, but I did. And it was oddly cold. It was actually like ice cold. I felt the ice cold breeze against my hands. I don't know why.
It's like Nova 6.
Yeah, and it has a stench. And it kind of gassed out half the room.
Yeah.
A couple more here. There's the normal episode transcript, where like the whole page is just the entirety of the normal episode, like the whole script in chapters, with everyone like named and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That could be a movie.
Yeah. So shout out to that. And also we can end this section on. It's a page called Example of James's Impulsive Behaviour.
Oh my god. How big is this page? Is it just like
it's not too crazy. So yeah, examples of James's impulsive behaviour. Introduction. James has displayed extremely irrational, short-sighted and or impulsive behaviour many times, both on and off camera. In essence, during what could variously be described as an episode flare-up or simply James moment.
Episode flare-up?
His rational thinking entirely ceases. For most people's thought process follow a formula of idea, consideration, action. James will simply lead with idea, action, often with disastrous results. Once the James moment is over, he will often proclaim surprise or regret at the obvious and entirely foreseeable consequences of his actions. In the past, a James moment was often preceded by a bah, but James claims he is unable to reproduce the noise any longer. Below is a list containing some examples of James moments. Examples: throwing midget gems over Jim, going bah and then lighting his hair on fire, off camera, throwing Jim's prized Lego plane down the stairs, dealing irreparable damage to it. Citation needed. Smacking a candle with Slim Shady's prized axe, spilling candle wax everywhere. What a sentence. Betting £50 with Jim.
That wasn't impulsive, that was completely calculated.
And burning Schwepp on a candle.
I didn't do that.
He did.
Is that really the list of all my impulsivities?
There's definitely more.
So far.
There's an extreme amount of them. Launching wine gums up on the roof. while you had COVID.
That was really funny.
Oh yeah. I got them in the end.
Yeah,
You did?
used your little litter picker.
I'm pushing Jamie into a river.
Trying to. Can you imagine
The bicycle over ice.
Yeah. Can you imagine what would have happened if I'd actually gone in that river?
It would have been really funny.
But like, it wouldn't have even been filmed or anything. Couldn't have put it on Fail Army.
I know. That would have been the biggest fail. We didn't put it on You've Been Phoned. There's a lot more. I'm pretty sure there's an extreme amount more.
Even Slim Shady.
Slim Shady has a page. Slim Shady is the name of yet another sibling / relative / character / alternate personality / schizophrenic delusion played by Alex. He's an axe-wielding, serial-killing, utterly deranged maniac, and so behaves just like Alex. He's only appeared in a single cast, that being the 2022 Halloween special. He's extremely protective of his axe, his weapon of choice, although James manages to snatch it for him just for a moment in order to knock over a candle for basically no reason.
For no reason.
No, there was a reason for it. I was trying to get rid of the flame. I just miscalculated and missed.
Oh, Mel Gibson has a page.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mel Gibson is the most underrated member of the JARMJPEU, the Jar Media JARCast podcast extended universe. He's a very obscure cast member and internet celebrity. Alex says Jim has been hanging out with him several times. Mel is extremely healthy, only eating whey mixed with other things such as Heinz beans or creatine or plants. He has a messiah complex, believing he is Jesus. Mel and James seem to have romantic tension between each other in one episode, with James stroking his forehead and Mel pecking his face, which was deemed controversial. He first appeared in episode 95 when he became a cast member. Seconds after being introduced to the podcast, Argyle attacked him and bit him several times, leading to him having to retire his podcasting career early due to serious injury. After recovering from his injuries, Mel attempted to reinvent himself in the form of a TikTok star in 2019 after taking over Alex's account at Family Guy's So Funny. He posted great content such as reaction videos, reactions to his reaction videos, reactions to his reactions to his reaction videos, and reactions to his reactions to his reactions to his reaction videos. It took him a single day, specifically November 6th, 2019, before quitting due to the cringe, returning the account back to Alex. Weeks later, Alex posted a video and then abandoned the account forever. Mel was pinned to the wall in episode 224 and can be seen from almost every episode since then. Mel returned to the cast as a special guest. In the first half of episode 268, Mel dropped by, replacing Jim for that time. He had grown old since then, so much so that he does not know what Patreon is. Can we do one more? I want to do the Sandy Cheeks page. Sandra Jennifer Cheeks was a JAR member, YouTuber, and gun control activist. She dated Alex because he's only SpongeBob after all. She was born in Texas, but was moved to England after Alex asked her to be in a music video for the Up Down album. She became a celebrity because of this, and later became a YouTuber, spreading clickbait and false information on Fortnite. She was fatally shot by Ruben in episode 113, after he believed he was betrayed. Her pictures are shown in later JARCasts and up-down music videos to commemorate her passing. Sandy was a squirrel with many abilities, including the ability to grow to massive sizes. While her lower body is not normally seen, she has a vacuum cock that can vor almost anything. Yeah, there's a picture of thumbnail of Sandy's most popular video, Iron Man added to Fortnite. The video was absolute fucking clickbait, as Iron Man was actually added to Fortnite years later. Yeah, man. Physical description, squirrel. Gender, futa. Eye color, black. Yeah, so check out the wiki and keep adding to it. It's just only getting better. Thoughts?
That was the best one.
The Sandy one.
Sandy one.
That was your favourite one.
Yeah.
I'm quite fond, mostly just because of the name of the page, the examples of James's impulsive behaviour. That's a funny list right there. Yeah, so check that out. Bloodcock2 said, can Alex do his standard American accent for a bit? He sounds like even more of a sarcastic asshole than his regular voice. I need to hear more. Thanks. Sergio replied to that saying, I fucking love the American accents. And there was even more feedback on this from Hair. Every time you mingers do American accents, it makes me cry laughing. Please do it more often. Thank you from Pennsylvania, USA.
I can't do an American accent. Or any accent.
Do a fire one.
I don't.
Yeah, yours is bomb.
Yeah, I've got the actual American accent. Just the British accent. Or should I say, the Wiltshire accent.
Yeah?
We founded your shithole country. Well, give us our accent back, dickheads.
It's actually true. Their accent is more English than ours.
Yeah.
So we gotta do some shifting.
It's all our fault. It's Wiltshire's fault and the southeast.
You are.
Southwest.
But when they say like, I do a million different American voices, which one do they mean? That they
Default.
Yeah, do your default
Nowhere
American
America.
accent.
like the Everglade.
No,
Yeah, do the Everglade.
He's like a surfer dude, like a skateboarder. Shot it.
Chilling in the Everglade.
We're just chilling in the Everglade.
Yeah.
I simply don't want to even pretend to do an American accent.
Say Everglade.
Everglade.
Yeah. I heard there's diamonds in the Everglade.
I relate more to Australian culture.
Everglade.
What did you say about Australian culture?
I relate more to Australian and New Zealand culture.
Than what? American?
Yeah.
Why?
No, you love American culture.
I don't. Well, but how do I love American culture?
Jim?
Make your point.
Call of Duty.
I've
That's
You-
actually quite British.
yeah, you would find that Modern Warfare 2 has not been mentioned on this cast.
Until you just mention it right now.
Yeah, but I didn't buy it and I'm not going to play it. And then, the end of the day,
Not
COD
yet.
is a European thing. Actually, no, isn't Battlefield?
How's it on a European thing?
There was like a split back in the day. Battlefield and COD was like an actual geographic split. Wasn't it?
Really?
Battlefield was like a
But
central European.
every like English guy plays COD.
Yeah.
Every American guy plays COD.
Yeah.
No, they play Battlefield because it's more like my actual military.
No, man.
No, that is true though. But if you've never been on Battlefield 4 in its prime, the Americans, it was only Americans on there.
That's true, actually.
You just join a party and it'd be some
Yeah.
American talking about how cool it was when they invaded Iraq.
That's actually so true.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm not sure either, man.
Give me like a cool sentence to say that American would say.
Yeah, pass the kombucha.
Yo, pass the kombucha. Pass the kimchi.
Bro, we're all out of kimchi.
Where's the kimchi, dude?
Let's just not talk about America.
Does kimchi grow in the Everglade?
We can
I
do.
farm kimchi in the Everglade.
Let me take you to my patch in the Everglade.
I hope we never go to America together.
Why? It'd be awesome.
No, it won't.
No, it would. We state to state, JARling to JARling.
No,
Come in.
absolutely not.
Yeah, you can make us some stew or whatever they eat over there.
They, buffalo, right?
Come in and have a burger on me.
Why, I do declare.
But if we go to New Zealand, Australia, though, that would be a good time.
Yeah.
We can have a few
drink from the goon bag.
shoeies.
Oh, yeah.
Goon
I
sack.
forgot they had goon sacks.
Yeah, we can goon sack in a shoey.
Yeah. I'm down to goon sack.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely down to goon. No,
Well-
I want to go to New Zealand. I want us to go to Christchurch.
But you were just saying the other day how you were anti-New Zealand, that you don't want to go there.
I'd get angry at them, but then I have to. I have a lot of shared interest with the Kiwis. You know, we goon, and then walk up, and it'd be great.
Do they goon sack in New Zealand?
They probably do.
I'm sure there's some crossover. There must be.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but also, what are you talking about?
New Zealand
Why would you? First of all, why would you get angry at them?
because they've got all the laws. They literally have all the fucking laws.
Okay.
The laws.
Number 2, what are your common interests?
Laws. She goes to the car meet and talk about
So
fucking
it's all around
laws.
this one specific thing.
Yeah, why the fuck has New Zealand got all of them? And I mean all of them.
Because they're just cool dudes over there.
Yeah, so I'm going to move to New Zealand. Lulul. Lulul.
Overloaded Balls has a concerning one.
Interesting.
How closely are you guys monitoring the r/FNaF subreddit as of late? It's borderlining natural disaster in the comments of any post. So I had a little look to see what was up. It didn't take long to see this one, asking, how would a medieval person react if he saw Springtrap? The comments say, shocked, confused, screaming about him being a demon, which is kinda true. Probably in that order. Then this person said, by Jove, is that Springton Bonnibel Trappus the second? And the other one was, the armour these days are quite strange. So I think it's in trouble. I think it's
Why is it in trouble?
The armour these days are quite strange.
It sounds stronger than ever. I just leave r/FLAF to their.
Yeah.
You're literally, they're just abusing kids. Just leave them to it, okay?
It's like a petri dish just that's been abandoned, you know? It's like growing over the sides. It's its own thing now.
Was r/FNaF created by us?
No.
No, there was a Reddit mod. Was a mod in that subreddit, and for a joke changed all of the branding on it to be jar stuff, so it still says FNaF in the jar font and the jar blue, and the banner is all of our
No, it's ours. It's only ours.
What do you mean?
It's only our 2 driving license.
No, it's all 4 of us. I'm telling you, man. I can show you it.
On the mobile one, it's just us 2 because it zooms in.
Oh yeah. FNaF. FNaF porn. Yeah, look. At the top.
Yeah.
Actual criminals.
But then I was trying to think about this, like, if you were like a little kid who was scared of FNaF and saw that, you'd be like, oh, that's scary.
Well, it's like Freddy, Bonnie,
yeah, it's like that, actually. It's the humans.
and Foxy.
I don't know why I look like such a criminal. I generally love that
Everyone
photo.
does in that fucking lineup.
No,
So
but
they
I
make
look
you-
the most like actual psychopathic. I look like I could kill
I
someone.
don't know. Alex looks pretty psycho.
Yeah,
He does.
I look pretty scary.
You still do.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, we know.
Poe the Panda is very epic. Leaves something that could change things. You guys mentioned Lee Evans on the cast, on JARCast 3000, and it got me thinking. Is Lee Evans the missing key of JAR? If you take a look at his credits, he has a few coincidental links to things mentioned on JAR. He was in Mouse Hunt, the first family DreamWorks movie predating their animated movies. Then there's Something About Mary, which stars Alex the Lion and Princess Fiona, who are both DreamWorks icons, as well as Keith David, who is beloved in the JAR community. Lee Evans then had a role in the beloved British 2005 animated feature epic, The Magic Roundabout. Of course, this is based on an animated show from the 60s/70s, and not the famous landmark in Swindon. It's also worth pointing out Dinotopia, since he was also in that and Alex thinks that dinosaurs are cool AF. This may be a stretch, I'm personally starting to think of it myself, but I do find it interesting how you can link all of these things to Lee Evans. And Poe the Panda replied to that again, saying he was also in The Fifth Element, which was directed by Luc Besson, director of Vicini Council the movie, another link to JAR.
The iceberg gets deeper.
Conspiracy theory or truth?
Maybe both.
James, anything?
I'm just thinking about the goon sack.
Well, James, we have one for you, which is kind of crazy and might unlock Pandora's box from here 937382. I have a very important thing to tell James. I think we might be distantly related, possibly even as close as third cousins. I'm adopted, and I recently found out that my biological mother's mother had the same last name as you and grew up near Chippenham in Wiltshire. I was adopted as an infant, and my adoptive parents shortly moved to America. Ming on, gamers.
What? They're gonna have to explain that again.
Their grandmother, their biological grandmother, has your last name and lived in Chippenham.
Grew up near Chippenham in Wiltshire. And yeah, I was adopted as an infant, and my adoptive parents shortly moved to America. Don't you have like links to? Someone replied to it saying it, or you could be related to the field moped, James House.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Also impregnated the sister of the father of Jar James's sister's kids. Also,
the family tree.
Also, the two House families may not be related, so all three of you could possibly be blood brothers.
No, but here's the thing. The actual House family here is also possibly related to the House family.
So it's even more likely, is what you're saying.
I'm just trying to think of... So they're saying, is that great-grandmother or grandmother?
Their grandmother. Their mother's mother.
Yeah. I'm adopted, and I recently found out that my biological mother's mother had the same last name. So grandma. Is it possible?
Possibly. Because I know my grandfather had sisters, and that's where the house name comes from. I'm pretty sure that's his house name's from there. And his parents, we don't even know about. But I know he had multiple sisters, and I know there is relation to this area. But I have no idea. Like, I need to do ancestry or whatever to actually find out what the hell's...
There's lots of houses around here.
Imagine if that was how they like found out, was because of this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
It would be really fucking weird, because it's like my extended family, no idea.
The JARCast, bringing family together.
Bringing houses together.
Welcome back, family.
So has this person got the same last name as me?
Yeah.
No,
Is this
biologically? Well, no, he wouldn't.
No.
Because it's his mother's maiden name.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Because I know the various maiden names in my family.
Well, her maiden name was House.
Mm.
She's a true blood House.
And I'm a true blood House. Do you know my house change has been fucked up by the Devoys?
The XID voice.
Yeah. the Devoy was my mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
And that's like Irish or something. It's like
That
up
sounds
north.
Irish.
James is Irish.
But then obviously my grandfather on that side I've never met is a career criminal and looks like a mob guy, and he probably is. And I don't know his maiden name, but I know he's a criminal.
Well, he wouldn't have a maiden name.
No. But I don't know what his name is, because I don't think the name went down to
XID voice.
my mum.
Maybe XID voice Strayhind.
But I need to do some ancestry because my family
there's a story to be
up.
told there, for sure. That needs to be uncovered, and maybe you're the one to do it.
Well, nobody's
Bloodlines.
going to do it for me, bro.
Exactly. Well, let's do this. Let's penultimate this one from Naughty Boys Official.
Okay.
Thank you for mentioning the undeniable comedy that comes from poo (parentheses and farts) in the latest cast. As you said, some say they find it juvenile, but in my opinion, fart humor is genuinely the purest and least pretentious form of comedy. I find the Shah anecdotes are genuinely some of the most funny moments on the cast. The fool acts as if he's above it, but the wise man does not deny themselves the obvious hilarity of a good shart. I was reminded of this video, which perfectly captures my philosophy. And he linked that video of the like PNG of a fucking gorilla or an orangutan sat there with the stinky. audio, which I'm sure most have seen.
You're welcome.
Oh, stinky.
It is.
Why do you smell of chips?
Meme? Yeah, man. There's not really a question in there. I just kind of want to shout that out.
Yeah.
A wise man knows that farts are funny.
Yeah, the wise man laughs at poo-poo.
These are also potential tattoo ideas.
You could have like a wise old...
Who's going to be the first JARling to actually do it and send a picture?
James.
Yeah. I'll send on this one then from Cazador6250, who can bring the circle closed and, pay off what was put down earlier when it comes to the Everglade. Did I say his name? Cazador?
Say it again, just in case.
Cazador6250.
You sure you said it?
Cazador6250.
The numbers are the most important.
Some Everglades facts for you boys.
Okay.
I got from some quick Googling. The Everglades are an almost entirely uninhabited, nearly 8,000 square mile stretch of swamps and wetlands, apparently only home to about 200 to 300 people. It's a bit unlikely that there are any JARlings out there unless they are alligators, of which there are over 200,000. Not only that, but Everglades is also home to crocodiles, black bears, panthers, and manatees. I didn't know manatees lived in the Everglade.
Manatees, sea cows live in the Everglade.
Yeah. That is surprising to me because you're telling me there are these peaceful, lovable manatees floating down the Everglade, competing with crocodiles and alligators and bears.
I don't think a crocodile could take a manatee.
I think they could.
No, manatees are too chunk.
I'm honestly not surprised that almost nobody lives there because aside from the manatees, it sounds like a pretty awful place to live. Or property is extremely cheap, and it's just opportunity.
That's a fantastic point. And with the price of Everglade housing on the rise, could be the right time
There's
to buy.
opportunity for investment.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a little manatee garden.
Mm-hmm. And maybe some sort of energy harvesting plant for the crocodiles.
Speaking of like Dune and stuff, you could like ride the manatees like the worms.
Yeah.
Free transport. Transport's cheaper than chips. You just gotta. What a manatee's
manatee
like.
milk.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get your
manatee
you
cheese.
can get your dairy easy.
Boom to the manatee cheese industry.
If you like hunting, you got some scary creatures to
Yeah.
challenge.
I mean, it's up to you, but if you're a Floridian,
Well,
it's like don't you think people are starting to really crave the simple, like,
natural conflict.
barbaric life?
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
like we're surrounded so much by comfort and funny TikToks
Yeah.
that you kind of just want to have to like make a blade out of grass and take on a gator.
Yeah, you just pick that blade of grass and you put it between your thumbs and you whistle louder than ever before.
Yeah.
And summon a farm of manatees to get their milk. Isn't that right,
I'm
James?
signing up to Ancestry and find it fucking paying for that shit.
On that note, I think we're done here, guys. Any final words?
Subscribe to the Everglade.
Subscribe to the Everglade, check out the JARChive, and just keep on being you, man.
In the words of the Pope, keep on keeping on.
Identity is found in materialism. Identity is found.
Identity is found in the car you drive.
Identity is found in Facebook likes.
Identity is found in posters on your wall.
Identity is found by being featured on the For You page on TikTok.
Identity is found in the movies you like and the music you enjoy.
Identity is found by only watching the biggest movie.
Identity is found in Adidas Yeezys.
Matching.
Don't buy Yeezys. Yeah, I don't. Probably can't anymore anyway.
Identity is found by injecting various psyops across the globe through the internet networks.
Identity is found in your choice of psyop that you've been consumed by.
Can you just stop this now, please?
Identity is found
Bye, thank you for watching. We'll see you
way
next
too
time.
bright and the second half being too dark.
Identity is found in employing a lighting engineer to efficiently and successfully professionalize an amateur.
I think you guys need to know when to stop. We've done an hour and a half. This is 2 episodes.
Identity
One
is
episode.
found in James getting upset at finding identity.
Identity is found
By finding your identity.
Identity is found by looking outward, not inward.
Identity is found by accepting the laws of nature.
Identity is found by taking risks with financial risks and pumping as much as possible into either A, the stock market, or B, risky cryptocurrencies.
Specifically JARCoin. Find your identity now.
Pre-order your identity with with the JAR NFT project. Identity.
Fuck, you cunt! Fuck!
Oh, that reminds me. You probably wouldn't have seen. No, don't stop it. Give it 1 second. Cause I got
You can't keep going.
No, I can because I've got to show Jim something that'll be funny.
You two are ridiculous.
Fuck! Ow!
You did that to yourself.
I didn't do that. I didn't know you were gonna swing the fucking metal thing right under my. Oh, you know when you like hit your arm and then it's like, ooh, initial pain, kinda bad, and then you let it sit for a sec, and then it's like, and then it fucking really hurts, and then it goes away.
No, bro, this would cheer you up.
Okay.
You know, they killed the dog on Family Guy.
The dog,
Oh my
Brian?
god.
Yeah, Brian.
Man, stop playing for real.
I'm playing, man.
Brian's dead?
Yeah.
Brian's dead!
What a perfect man.
Yeah,
That's masculinity.
that is masculine. That's what makes it. Is the, oh shit! That's great.
Man.
Humor's round every corner. You just gotta find it. Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night. And welcome to another episode of the Media Podcast. Episode 302.